Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, how you folks doing? Welcome to the 9th edition of Hold the Rope HTR. I'm your host, Conman167, and I'm going to be talking with you guys for about the next hour on all the latest news, rumors, everything going around inside the wrestling world here today. How you folks doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see every single one of you. Actually, I just realized this. Hey, Becca, baby, Beck. Hey, can you close the window, please? Thanks. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, we are ready to go here for Hold the Rope. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am today for this show. Before we get into all the news and rumors, it would be great if you guys can say hi, and we're going to do a Conman certified roll call. Who do we got in here today? We got ourselves Lou Dog. We got Avengers Fan 167. We got Sophia Barajas. We got Nathan Noble, Marcus Ryan, Dale Jr. How you doing? We got Avengers Fan again. How you doing? SML Gameplay, Kayla Bernstein, Dale Campbell, Vizen Wooby, Terrell Broom up in here as well. Nice to see you guys. Thank you for joining the show today. I hope you guys are ready for a hell of a show. We're not going to wait for anything longer. We're just going to jump right into this thing. Apparently my English isn't working too well today, so we're just going to jump right into this thing. And let's start reading the news. So, folks, as you are surely aware, Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Jon Moxley, the now newly named Jon Moxley inside of All Elite Wrestling, he is a part of this new company. But yesterday, he was on a podcast called Talk Is Jericho, hosted by the one and only Chris Jericho, who is also in All Elite Wrestling. And oh boy, he had a lot of stuff to say. So let's just get right into this thing. Here are the comments made by Jon Moxley on the Talk Is Jericho podcast. So, you guys know kind of the backstory here, but let's read from now. Moxley shared that he knew he was leaving the company back in July of 2018, which was 1 month before he was to be brought back to TV. He was out of actions for months with a triceps injury. He reiterated that it was a miserable time in his life and that it added to the recovery process, and it took longer than it was expected to. I pretty much knew I was gone in July of 2018, and at that point I was out with an injury. I tore my triceps, and normally that would have been like a 4 or 5 month thing, but I was so banged up and bruised up because I'd been working on it hurt for a long time, and it was just, the tendon was all mangled and everything, so it was a minimum of 6 months. Then I got a staph infection, and then I had to go into surgery again, and then it turned into 9 months. It was a mess. Very miserable time in my life, very challenging, and in July is when I knew I was leaving the WWE. So let's go into the stories here a little bit more from Jon Moxley. This is the first story that he had to tell. He said, "The day that I physically looked down on the calendar and started counting down the days. The other one will be the day that I absolutely knew 100% there was no turning back, I was gone. The day I almost walked out, even though I knew in July, I knew the whole time I wasn't going to quit. I wasn't going to ask for my release. I wasn't going to try to get fired or anything like that. I was just going to ride it out until the very end for a couple of reasons. One, I'd rather just not do business like that if I don't have to. And two, my wife works there. It would have been unfair to put her in a position of any awkwardness. And we get all that way to April 30th. The clock strikes midnight, and I'm just free to go, and I get all my royalties. So if they're going to sell a Shield DVD in Cambodia 2 years from now, I'm getting my 2 cents. So Jon Moxley, man, showing exactly why he decided to stick around the WWE for a little bit longer. But let's talk a little bit about here with Vince McMahon, because this is where you're like, all right, you start to see the creative process within WWE. You start to see what's kind of going on behind the scenes, and you understand the frustration from Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley. I actually almost walked out. Not really, but I'm glad I didn't, because I could have ended up in some legal stuff. Whatever. I mean, I knew I was gone by July, but I'm thinking, why rush it? It's only 8 more months or whatever from September to April, so what's 8 months? And who knows, maybe everything will change. So to this day, Monday Night Raw takes place in Milwaukee. I wake up this morning and I get a text from a writer, Ice Pick, my man, good guy, explaining to me what I'm going to do that day. And it says, so you have a backstage where you'll be your own personal doctor, or you'll be with your own personal doctor, who will be injecting you with rabies shots and all types of inoculations. However he explained it. To inoculate yourself against the disgusting fans. And I replied, I fucking hate that. And he replied, yeah, I know. So I get to the building and I'm like, you can imagine in the mood that I'm in when I get to the building. Now, the word, just from my response, is already circulating around that I might not be very excited about this. I got Michael Hayes coming up to me. How you doing, Dean? Heard you might be not very excited about your promo. And I'm like, no, I've been talking about this for months. Why am I always doing this goofy crap? This has been me and Vince butting heads on this since February. So they hand me this sheet, and it gets as bad as you can imagine. And then I remember I got hurtled into some sexual assault and harassment meeting we all had to do or whatever, and I'm just sitting in this meeting while they're talking, and I'm just staring at this promo, just seething. I'm like, soon as this meeting's over, I'm going to bolt right to Vince's office. So as soon as I get out of the door of this meeting, the writer's already in my face, and he's like, hey, Vince wants to talk to you about the promo. He wants to make sure you know it's not comedy. So Vince is anticipating that I was already going to come storming in there and go, why am I always doing this comedy prop? Or prop comedy all the time? Because I'd been having the same argument with him for like a year. So anyways, I go into Vince's office and he's like, hey, pal, anyways, this promo, I want you to know this is not comedy. He's got the promo in his hand and he's pointing at it like, this is such good stuff. This is good shit right here. You know, pointing at it. It's not comedy. This is such good stuff. It's so well written. He's going to get you a ton of heat. That's exactly what he said. And he's explaining it to me. You're going to get rabies, of course. Distemper, which of course people don't know, it's for dogs. And he's ha 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 laughing, and I'm thinking, I just can't remember saying something like, it's just more to the prop of Carrot Top. It's just more like Carrot Prop comedy. Wow, I just messed that up so more. Let me try to say that one more time because I'm having a tough time saying this. It's more of this Carrot Top prop comedy, and he's like, there's no props, and I'm like, then what is the actor we hired to play the doctor with the giant syringe? Is that not a prop? And I had the feeling in my head that this was going to be the last time I was going to say this to him. And I had to say this to him a bunch of times. I went, if this is what you want on your show, then I am the best man for the job. Because like I always do, when you throw me this crazy curveball stuff, I pull this off, if I can. So I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to go out there and give this my absolute best, my best effort to make this good. If anybody can, it's me. And I kind of had the feeling like this is the last time I'm going to get to say this to him. And he's like, I know you will. Get out there, you scamp. Get to work or whatever. Ha ha ha. That's Vince McMahon right there. So let's break that all down because there's a lot to kind of talk about there. So Vince, you know, it's pretty clear how he runs within the WWE right now. Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley puts a lot of light on the situation, and it is not a fun situation. So, Jon Moxley essentially, while he was within WWE, he knew he was not re-signing. He knew he was not going to go back to WWE, and according to this, it was like from 8 months out. He was in WWE, and I clearly remember the promo of him with the syringe guy in the back, and it was not a good promo, but when you watch Dean Ambrose try to cut it, you understand that, you know, he does his best, right? So let's just take a quick look right here, guys, at the promo. I'll play it real quick. This is what Dean Ambrose had to put up with. This was the last thing that he made before from Mr. Dean Ambrose there within the WWE. He wanted him to go out there and insult the intelligence of all the fans. He wanted him to go out there and just apparently be a bad guy. He thought this was going to get him heat. He thought that type of writing is what gets characters over. Very, very clearly not the case, right? Not the case at all. And that was apparently the final straw for Dean Ambrose. Let's continue on here, though, because we got some more comments from Mr. Dean Ambrose, and it was talking about Roman Reigns and the illness on TV. So this one, when I listen to the podcast, I don't really have to read this word for word, the excerpt right here, but what I can say is the Dean Ambrose comments on on Roman Reigns and his leukemia. They were forced on him. Dean Ambrose did not want to say that. Jon Moxley did not want to say that. Whatever you want to call him. He did not want to say it. He clearly felt uncomfortable saying that about his own personal friend, and he was like, you know what, dude? I don't like this. So let's see what the comments were right now. And earlier I had to go to Vince because in this promo there's a very distasteful line, taking a jab at my friend who had leukemia and has now gone off to recover from that. Roman Reigns. I don't remember what the line was, but it went, I'm not saying that. Are you kidding me? So I'm going right to Vince about this one because it was clearly a mistake. I go in, I'm thinking in this production meeting at this time, and I'm like, this is, surely you don't want me to say this. And And he's like, Roman's part of the story, pal. We need to make sure he's still included. You turn on him and Seth, and he kind of explains it to me, and, you know, just say that thing about Roman. Just include him. And he says it's kind of an innocuous way where it's like kind of like it didn't seem so bad coming out. And I was like, okay. And all the writers were basically giving me the Vince Jedi mind trick, which I'm pretty immune to at this point. But every once in a while, he still gets me, which I believe that might be the funniest line to come out of the whole thing with Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley. The Vince Jedi mind trick, like this whole little passage right here. Basically, he gave me the Vince Jedi mind trick, which I'm pretty immune to at this point, but every once in a while it still gets me. So you just picture Vince McMahon sitting there in the back, and he's got all these voodoo weird tricks, and you're like, that's how he's a billionaire. He's got Jedi mind tricks, man. That's how he's a billionaire. That's how he's still on top of this whole thing. That's how he's like 70-some-year-old man who is still on top of a world that is entirely made up. You know, wrestling is just made up, and he's the king of it. It's crazy. It's because of his Jedi mind tricks. That's why. But anyways, this promo had a line regarding my actual friend who's going through actual leukemia that Vince wanted me to say. He tried to talk me into saying it. This is where I absolutely drew the line. And I was like, absolutely not. And he actually tried to talk me into it a little bit, but I was like, absolutely not. He was like, if you feel uncomfortable, that's fine. Like, no, that's when I actually had to put my foot down, and it's the worst line. I'm not going to say it on the air. I'll tell you after we're done, but I'm not even going to say it on the air. So this is the line that he's talking about, the line that he was supposed to say on the air, and he refused to say it. And there was still mentions of Roman Reigns' leukemia being used as a storyline. So God help us. What did Vince want Dean Ambrose to say? What went through that vile, sadistic old man's mind to make him try to get it to come out of the mouth of Dean Ambrose? What seriously was going through there? I don't know. But listen to this. That's how bad it was. It would have been a thing where like somebody would have had to get fired. Maybe me. They might have lost sponsors, like the Susan G. Komen and all that. I don't know who wrote it. I don't know if it was Vince himself or if it was a writer. If you're listening right now, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You wouldn't believe it. But if I said it, it would have just been, okay, and I just read the script. I can't imagine, but it would have been on me, not on Vince. So there you go. Dean Ambrose actually saying something that I really like about that as well, is that Dean Ambrose bringing up the idea that what is said in promos, you do have the ability to not say it. You do have the ability to make your promos your own. Now, I don't know how much trouble you get in the back if you don't follow promos per line or whatever, but basically what he's saying there is that if he's uncomfortable saying something, he had enough balls to put his foot down and say, I am not saying that. So good on Dean Ambrose there. I just don't know what the words were. Maybe Chris Jericho will let us know one day what it was that was supposed to be said. But as of right now, we don't have a damn clue. But those were the words spoken by Mr. Jon Moxley. You can listen to the entire podcast on Talk Is Jericho. It is well worth the listen. It's about an hour and 36 or hour and 39 minutes, something like that. Definitely go listen to that. It is worth your time. Lots of eye-opening experiences. You get the idea of how WWE's run backstage. And there you go. Talk Is Jericho with Jon Moxley. I believe it's called The Immaculation of Jon Moxley or something like that. Here we go. Let's jump into Sami Zayn's AEW reference on WWE Raw. Was it scripted? That is the question everybody is asking. Did Sami Zayn have the green light? So if you guys don't know, last night on a couple nights ago on WWE Raw, Sami Zayn shocked just about everyone when he mentioned AEW during a segment with Corey Graves called The Electric Chair, which was a very weird segment. The segment was built around fans asking Sami Zayn questions about anything on their mind. The questions were rather generic, which prompted Zayn to say, you could have asked me anything. You could have asked me about AEW. Corey Graves quickly got the segment back on track. So if you guys did not know what it was, if you happen to miss it, Sami Zayn dropped this right here. But before we let you guys hear the video, I'm going to ask you to make sure you leave a like on this video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel right here, Conman167 on YouTube. Turn your notifications on. And if you guys truly enjoy the show and you want to keep it running, consider dropping a little donation to help support the show. But here's Sami Zayn, and this is what he had to say.
You could ask me anything. You could have asked me about AEW.
Hey, Sami, hey, so, listen, I know you mentioned the Universal Champion. You mentioned Seth Rollins, who we've seen earlier tonight, had sort of a bad night. hypothetically speaking, you did have that match for the Universal
And you hear those
Championship with
AEW
Seth
chants going on in the background. So that was that. Hey, we got ourselves a new sponsor right up in here. Oh, you know what that means, guys. If you are new to the show, when we get a new sponsor, oh, baby, we got to get this up over here. Yeah, we got a new sponsor right here. Come on. Play this thing loud and proud. Give us it, man. Come on. I want to see it. Just should pop up like right over here or something like that. Come on. Give me that sponsor. Yeah? Nope, not going to happen, is it? Well then, this might be awkward. Oh, there it is. Hey, it's down here. Hey, yeah. Woo! Yeah. Woo, what do you say? Do we, floss? I can't floss if you guys didn't know that. There you go. Woo! Thank you, Matthew Granlund. I appreciate becoming a member right there on the show. We're going to get right back to the news in just a minute. Thank you so very, very much. Okay. Jumping back into the show. So that was Sami Zayn. Let's continue talking about if it was scripted or not. Zayn mentioning AEW on air has everyone wondering whether the moment was planned or if Zayn went off script. The answer depends on who you believe. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reports that the mention was scripted for Zayn, and Meltzer's sources stated the line was so fucking stupid. Well, alright. Okay. Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet backed Meltzer, saying Zayn was told to mention AEW during his promo. However, Meltzer's co-host on Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez, reports that a different source told him the line was not scripted. Both Alvarez and Meltzer backed the validity of their respective sources when discussing the moment on their radio show. Mike Johnson of PW Insider also reports that the line was not in the script and that Zayn improvised in the moment. In WWE's official upload of the segment on YouTube, which you can view above, AEW mention was edited out. However, the segment remains unchanged on Hulu. Oh, very, very, very interesting. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? Is it scripted or is it not? I kind of want to post a poll over on Twitter, but I think we're a few days late on it. So I just want to hear in the chat right now. Do you guys think it was scripted or unscripted? For me personally, I have a tough time believing that you would be able to get away with that if it was unscripted. I think Zayn would be in a lot of trouble if it was unscripted. Just the way that you see how things are run backstage with WWE, the position that Sami Zayn is in right now, I don't think he's in a position where he could just go off the script that well. It was weird though, wasn't it? I believe it was scripted if I had to say my own belief, but again, it could be unscripted. It could have been a spur-of-the-moment thing. I don't know for sure. Reminder also, guys, we will be taking your guys' live calls right here on the show. All you got to do is join the Discord down below, and then you got to click on the side call where it says HTR live calls, live call wait room. Click on that, and you guys can potentially get a call with me throughout the show here today. Let's continue on, though, with a little bit more news. Some actual good news here within the WWE. The Undertaker is slated to appear on this week's Monday Night Raw. Obviously, you know it's to hype up the Saudi Arabia show, which sucks. It sucks that this is the reason that we got to see Undertaker. It sucks that this is the reason that Goldberg's coming back. It sucks that this is the reason we're getting Triple H versus Randy Orton. It just sucks. It sucks. There's no other way to put it. It just sucks. I hate that the fact that we have to support this company, or not even support this company, that we have to watch this company if we want to see matches like Andrade versus Finn at Saudi Arabia. It's ridiculous that this is how we have to sit through. This is the product that we're given, and that this is what we have to deal with. A Saudi Arabian show for blood money, and it's so transparent. We can see right through it, and still it doesn't matter. Just kind of sucks. But yeah, Undertaker will be appearing on the show this upcoming Monday. So guys, be excited for that one. Really not too much more to talk about there. Let's talk a little bit about Triple H's little phone call that he had earlier today, the media press call. This is what he had to say. So, this is to him speaking out on the AEW remarks at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Obviously, if you guys remember, Triple H threw out the very first shots towards AEW, calling them just a t-shirt company or something like that. What actually was it? Said that it wouldn't be DX if they didn't poke the bear, so to speak, but clarified that only thing he is concerned about right now is putting on the best show possible for fans via TakeOver. So basically, Triple H no-selling the fact that AEW is a company, even though he mentioned them. Here you go. Here's the quote. Hall of Fame to me, there was a moment. Billy Gunn's there. There's kind of sort of this moment where if you don't sort of say there's an elephant in the room, everyone sort of goes, well, they didn't mention the elephant in the room. It was nothing more than that, and to be honest with DX, if you don't do that, then we're kind of sort of not doing our thing and doing what we do. And trust me, a lot of that was not necessarily laid out and planned. Things just kind of went along, he revealed. So what they are, for me, I don't really even think about it, to be honest. For me, when it comes to this takeover, I just want to put out the best possible product. I'm not focused on anybody else. I'm not thinking about anybody or anybody else's creative decisions or what they said or didn't say or anything else like that. To me, I'm focused on this Saturday at TakeOver 25 and the brand and making everybody bigger stars coming out of it. Putting on the best show possibly we can for the fans. That's what he just said. So there you go. I don't know. He loves the word sorta. It's tough to read, to say the least. I couldn't do a great job reading that excerpt like I did for the Dean Ambrose one, and Dean Ambrose was kind of all over the place, aka Jon Moxley. They're worried. There's no question about that. Triple H is worried about All Elite Wrestling, but at the same time, he's got his own thing going on, and he said exactly what he needed to say. Basically just saying that, hey, I know there's other stuff going on. I can't control it. I am focused on dialing in and making this product the best thing we possibly can. So I'm just not going to worry about the other stuff and say I'm not worried about it. There's no question they are worried about it. They're bringing it up. It's on their minds. They've thought about it before. It's there. That's just what it is. But he is taking that same energy and he is putting it towards WWE and NXT, and he wants to make NXT the best possible show it can be. So kudos to Triple H. I don't have any problem with that response right there. Let's talk a little bit about Paul Heyman, though, because Paul Heyman could be moving towards WWE Creative, which I think would be an amazing, amazing decision. So let's jump right into this. But before we do, make sure you smack a like on this video. Paul Heyman wants the best for WWE. Before he was the advocate for Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman was heralded for his creative work in both Extreme Championship Wrestling in the 90s and as the lead writer of SmackDown Live in the early 2000s. Heyman has continued to pitch in behind the scenes in WWE, recently helping Ronda Rousey during her WWE run. Interesting that Ronda Rousey's run there was one of the most over storylines, and it ended up main eventing WrestleMania. Speaking to comicbook.com, Heyman was asked about taking on more significant role in WWE's creative process that extends beyond one or two wrestlers. I have interest in anything that serves the product, and whether that's performing with Brock Lesnar or producing Brock Lesnar or working with Ronda Rousey or any of the new talents that are about to explode in 2019 and 2020, I serve at the pleasure of the WWE audience, and so that everyone knows I'm not just paying lip services with that statement. Please note, I didn't give the politically correct public relations statement of I serve at the pleasure of the WWE Universe. I meant what I said. I serve at the behest and the pleasure of the WWE audience. Anything I can do to deliver a better product, a more forward-thinking presentation, a more innovative approach to what WWE and or sports entertainment should be in 2020, 2021, or 2022, etc., moving forward, that's what I'm interested in being involved in. Interesting. So, very much so, Paul Heyman is a WWE guy at this point, but he doesn't want to just sit around and be complacent with what's on the table, with what's being given to the audience. Clearly, you can hear from Paul Heyman, he thinks he can do a good job at WWE Creative. Don't look into it too deep if he's saying he can do a better job of what's already there, but I think what he's kind of insinuating is that, he can bring a different approach, a different set of eyes to the WWE Creative, and honestly, a set of eyes that seems to know what he's talking about. I mean, Paul Heyman's a freaking genius inside the world of wrestling. ECW's proof of that right there. He's here inside WWE. He's been on TV for how long? He understands the product. He knows the product. And I mean, if you're going to be a manager in this day and age, you're not a wrestler, right? Paul Heyman's not a wrestler. He's not out there taking bumps. He's not out there, performing in the ring for everybody. The only thing he does is on the microphone and take the occasional little like grip to like the chest like that from whoever may be in the ring with him, whether it's Triple H or Seth Rollins or Batista or whatever, right? That's what he does. That's what Paul Heyman's good at. And so, as a result, he has all this free time when he's backstage at TV tapings. What does he do? He gets to learn the backstage area. He gets to learn everything that's going on inside WWE. Gets to learn how creative works. Gets to learn how to talk to Vince. All these things Paul Heyman could bring to a creative team and could potentially, do something very good with it. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. If they happen to move in that direction, I would certainly hope they do eventually. Let's talk a little bit about the ratings inside WWE right now, because WWE, of course, they drew lower viewership on Monday because of Memorial Day. But actually, you know what? Let me switch back to the main camera for a second. I don't like the idea of saying holiday shows are going to draw less numbers just because they're holiday shows. You know what I mean? Is that not just the most lazy way to write your show? Going into a holiday show and saying, well, since the show is already going to be a little bit not must-see, let's make it less must-see. If that makes sense. Do you get that, what I'm saying there? WWE goes into their holiday shows, whether it's Christmas, Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, whatever, and if people are off, people are having a holiday, they don't put effort into the shows. They don't try to write good storylines because they want the majority of their audience to watch the show live, right? They want the majority of the audience to experience it live. And well, that's understandable. Why not, on the holiday episodes, make them feel like a bigger deal? You know what I mean? Like, make them feel like they're bigger than they are. It's the Memorial Day special Raw. Watch with your family. Make a Memorial Day event of it. When you're talking about Memorial Day, or you're talking about other sporting events that happen to coincide with holidays, whether it be New Year's Eve or March break, right? We're talking about those are some of the biggest sports events of the year because people are off. You're with your family. You're not at work. Why wouldn't you try to make a show better than that? Why wouldn't you try to make this show must-see? Memorial Day Monday. This is a must-see episode of Monday Night Raw. For the special holiday here, we are putting a championship match in the main event. And we're going to build this up, and it's going to be a big spectacle. We're going to have Memorial Day fireworks inside the WWE. Bring your family out to Memorial Day with us and have a good time. Why wouldn't you lean into that? As opposed to just taking a step back and saying, we're going to lose a lot of viewerships on TV because people are off doing things with their family. That's not the case at 8 p.m. on a Monday night. People got to work the next day. We're all sitting there still watching WWE. They still pulled in, over 2 million viewers. Why aren't you trying? Why aren't you trying to give us a good show when it's a holiday? I don't get that. I literally don't get that. It makes zero sense to me. And if people are off on a holiday, well, make them check in on their phone. Make them like, oh God, I'm going to miss something. Make Monday Night Raw feel like it's must-see again. If you're telling fans, it doesn't matter. You can watch this on YouTube at a later time. It's a holiday episode. It doesn't matter to us. So it doesn't matter to you. Seriously, all you got to do is present the product as must-see at any given time. And then it becomes must-see. Okay. So they did have a championship match as a dark match, but that doesn't matter, right? Championship matches don't really matter. Lou Dog, I'm not sure what this is. Play it now. Promises that she and the McMahon family and the executive team will be taking action against Brock Lesnar after their disrespectful actions on Raw. Okay, we're going to give this a quick play right here. Yeah, I'm just really curious here.
The WWE renounces and in fact condemns the behavior of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman on Monday Night Raw this past week.
What?
Brock Lesnar walked to the ring with the Money in the Bank briefcase fashioned as some kind of boombox, let alone making promises about announcing who they were going to face and cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase against, which they did not do. But they also disrespected what the Money in the Bank contract represents. They disrespected both the Universal Champion as well as the WWE Champion. And in fact, I think they disrespected the entire WWE as well as the WWE Universe. So on behalf of our organization, on behalf of all of our fans, I am going to take this matter up officially with both the McMahon family as well as our executive team. And we are going to take action.
What? What was so disrespectful? What? He made a boombox, didn't he? What? After okay. After everything that WWE I mean, not even just WWE, everything that Brock Lesnar kind of has done, that is where you draw the line. A boombox. So you can attack people at any given time. Doesn't matter. You can be away from TV with the Universal Championship at any given time. But the moment you show an ounce of charisma, we got to take action because nobody can get over inside the WWE. Oh, Con, remember Brock smacked Heyman with the contract. Ooh, that deserves the McMahons to take action. I don't know about you, but that deserves it. Holy, all right. Well, now we can talk about ratings because we see why they're going down. So after that little rant about the Memorial Day episode and trying to make the episodes bigger, you guys can disagree if you want. You're wrong. I'm sorry. They should be making every show feel like it's must-see. Does not matter what day of the year. If you are airing a television show, you should not be looking to waste the 3 hours of people who are watching. All right. So here you go. It draws lower numbers right here. They pulled in an average of 2.19 thousand right there. So 2.19 million or whatever it was. Sorry, I misspoke right there. Yeah, that's the number right there. It is down from last week's 2.5. So, but that's understandable with the loss in viewership because of the holiday. And there you go. That's kind of what you need to know right there. But what is also really interesting, this shows why WWE goes back to Brock Lesnar every single time. Look at this. Brock Lesnar learns an important Money in the Bank detail. 5.1 million views on YouTube as of this. So don't know how updated that is, but damn. 5.1 million views Brock Lesnar pulled in on YouTube. Let's talk a little bit about SmackDown Live, though there are some good news going on right here. SmackDown Live's viewership is back over the 2 million mark for the first time since April. So, the May 28th episode of WWE SmackDown Live drew just over 2 million viewers. The number is up from last week's viewership of 1.983. It marks the first time since SmackDown has reached over 2 million viewers since April 23rd of 2019, where it drew a 2.72. So basically the exact same amount of viewership. It is gone all the way back to April 23rd. And if you guys want to take a little look at what pulled in views on YouTube, Roman Reigns and R-Truth versus Elias and Drew McIntyre pulled in 22 million views. Elias becoming the 24/7 champion on Shane McMahon Appreciation Night pulled in 1.1 million views. And then, everything else kind of just dropped off right there. Let's continue on here. We got some injury news with AJ Styles. So, you guys know that AJ Styles is a little bit on the injured side, but he just calls it wear and tear. He thinks that he's going to return soon. Prior to WWE Raw going on the air, it was announced that AJ Styles would be in action in a Fatal 4-Way elimination match. However, once Raw went live on the USA Network, Styles was pulled from the bout and replaced by Baron Corbin. It was revealed during the broadcast that Styles had a lower back injury, which kept him out of the match. Shortly after WWE Raw went off the air, AJ Styles jumped on his Mixer channel for a friendly round of gaming. During his streaming session, Styles provided an update on the injury. I've got something going on with my AC joint. It's rubbing up against my bone, and we thought I had a fracture. It may not be the case, which is a good thing. It may require a shot to keep the swelling down. It's not a major injury. It's just wear and tear. Hopefully it doesn't keep me out for very long. I can't stand being out, but I haven't had rest in a long time. So I'm going to take the time, rest my body so I can be back. WWE has made sure we've dealt with this injury properly. Trust me, I want to be back. I want to earn my money. So there you go. AJ Styles, his update on the injury right there. And let's talk a little bit about a fellow NXT star who unfortunately was hit by a drunk driver on her way home from the Performance Center. However, she is okay. Rachael Evers from NXT. NXT talent and former RPW Women's Champion Rachael Evers took to social media today and shared that she was hit by a drunk driver while on her way home from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Evers followed up on the revelation by adding that she is doing okay and that the passenger side of her vehicle was hit, and she was also able to grab photos of the individual who crashed into her car. Let me start by saying this: I am okay. I was hit by a drunk driver today on my way home from the PC, hit and run. I'm extremely thankful it was my passenger side that was hit. Some people aren't so lucky. Please don't drink and drive. Side note, as he drove off, I ran after him and got the best pictures of both his plates and face. I love a good cardio challenge. So, yeah, she apparently went right after this guy. And this is the jackass who hit her. And that's his license plate. So, guys, there you go. Right there. Drunk jackass. Do not drink and drive. Repeat, do not drink and drive. If you do, Conman's going to find you personally and hit you across the side of the head with an open hand palm strike, okay? Conman going to come hunting for you. Stay off the booze without jumping into a vehicle. There you go. Boom. Conman speaks up. All right, let's talk a little bit about the confiscated fans signs right here. WWE confiscates "You aren't MJF" and "Save us" Triple H signs on SmackDown. MJF comments right here. Fans watching tonight's WWE SmackDown may have noticed a sign that read "You aren't MJF" on the show. The sign was held up during a promo by Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Another sign caught the eye of fans was one that read "Save us Triple H." If you guys didn't see the signs right there, there they are. All right. A reminder that there's hopefully one. Yeah, well, there you go. "You aren't MJF," man. People loving that. And "Save us Triple H" right back there on the side. He comments on it saying "You aren't MJF." Yeah, I love it. Love it. "Save us Triple H" again. Oh, boy. Okay, let's continue on, though, right here. This is some good news. All right, first of all, let me go back to the big screen for this one before we get into your guys' live calls right here, which we'll be taking very, very shortly. This is good news. Very, very happy about this. Very, very happy. All right, EVE. Let's talk a little bit about it. Pro Wrestling Eve hosting alternative stream in support of women's wrestling during Super Showdown. Yes, Pro Wrestling EVE, or Eve. I don't even know what it is. EVE or Eve or whatever it is. EVE. I'm going to subscribe to you just for that reason. Because hell yeah, you go. Good job during Super Showdown. Hell to the yeah. That is a company that knows what they're doing right there. EVE showing support for women's wrestling. 1 week from Friday, WWE will heading back to Saudi Arabia as part of their 10-year deal with the Saudi Arabian General, whatever that is called. The jackasses who gave WWE a lot of money. The blood money. We're just going to call it blood money. As of this writing, there are no women's matches expected or announced for the show, but Pro Wrestling EVE has announced that for the second consecutive WWE Saudi Arabian show, they will host a live stream to showcase women's wrestling that will not be featured on Super Showdown. Love it. That is just amazing. And there's their official Twitter thing right there. I love this whole thing right here. Hell yeah. WWE saying that they're going over to Saudi Arabia to promote change and they don't have women's matches on the card. Maybe they will one day, and if they do one day, then yes, that's when they're going to promote change. But right now, there's very, very little. I love this from EVE hosting the alternative stream, going head-to-head with WWE Super Showdown, and allowing women a showcase platform which they belong on. It's so backwards thinking that WWE keeps going to Saudi Arabia, even though you say you're gonna try to change the way you're going there for your third show and no women are on the card. All right, it's grade A bullshit. Grade A bullshit. Let's continue on here. Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela made official for AEW's Fyter Fest. So that's what I like to see right there. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, Chris Lemieux, I absolutely know Saudi Arabia doesn't allow women on their show. That is backwards thinking. It is bullshit. You know what? I'm going to get hot over this. It is bullshit that in 2019 places in this world are still being lifted up from the ground, being praised by people out there who do not treat women equal. This is Saudi freaking Arabia. Yes, it is a backward-ass country. WWE, if you are going to go there, you promote change or you don't do jack all. I've said it time and time again. It is ridiculous that WWE promotes women inside of wrestling, promotes them as some of their key players, and then you don't make the change in Saudi Arabia. It is backward-ass thinking. It is bullshit. And WWE needs to be called out on it. You cannot defend what they do over there. You cannot. I don't care if it's Saudi Arabia's rules or whatever of their country. If that is their rules, you don't fucking go there. You just don't go there. Right? It is so wrong. Anytime that people defend it, it is so backwards thinking. And I just can't. No, I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's so gross. It's just a tough thing to swallow as a WWE fan. It really is. But yeah, like I was saying, sorry folks, Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela has been made official for AEW's Fyter Fest. I am looking forward to that one. Hopefully I'm going to be able to live stream it. Please let me be able to live stream it. But yeah, Jon Moxley made his debut for All Elite Wrestling at Double or Nothing in Las Vegas, and Moxley has slated to have his debut match for the company next month at Fyter Fest in Daytona Beach, Florida, against Joey Janela. It's going to be a good match. Obviously, Moxley's going to go over Janela as they hype up Moxley inside their company, but this is going to be a good little match. Mox, man. Mox. Let's continue on with some more All Elite Double or Nothing news. Or not Double or Nothing, but this one is Fight for the Fallen. The Young Bucks versus Dustin and Cody Rhodes has been made official for AEW's Fight for the Fallen. The match has been made official. Cody and Dustin Rhodes battled at All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing show in what are some referring to as the match of the pay-per-view. I agree. Once Cody defeated Dustin, Dustin was going to leave his boots in the middle of the ring and was caught off guard by a surprise announcement from Cody, which he had to do with the two of them teaming up one more time this coming July at AEW's Fight for the Fallen show in Jacksonville against the current AAA World Champions, the Young Bucks. Today, via social media, that match was confirmed and will be happening on July 13th. There you go. Woo! The match has been made official, folks. Young Bucks versus Dustin and Cody. Also, some more AEW news. Luchasaurus, that big old guy in the Casino Battle Royal, has officially signed with All Elite Wrestling. That looks good. There's nothing really more right here. If you guys didn't see what Luchasaurus put on, this was one of the choke slams that he did. Watch the bump as he went right through the table, basically killing Joey Janela. And man, here's another one. Another show right here. Big kick. And watch what Luchasaurus brings out right here. Like, oh my god. What a move. Boom! Planting down Page. And then there's another one here from Luchasaurus.
Havoc is out for blood.
Look at this, man. The power. Oh, turns him around into the wheelbarrow. What a move. Yeah, and I'm not going to show all of it, but there you go, folks. It's Luchasaurus. And he is going to be the newest signing for All Elite Wrestling. And the last thing right here, some of you guys, if you are Joey Ryan fans, you might like this, you might not, I don't know. Me personally, I'm not a Joey Ryan fan. I don't think his style of wrestling has ever captured me at all. I don't hate what he does at the same time, but I'm not going to sit there and support it. There's obviously going to be fans out there who like what he does, but Joey Ryan right here turns down a contract from All Elite Wrestling. This is just on the latest news that he also turned down a contract from WWE. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. Joey Ryan has turned down both the contracts from All Elite Wrestling and WWE. So there you go. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the news part of this show. Thank you guys for watching the news. But Now I can have time to take your guys' live calls until about maybe a little bit after 4:30 since I ran a little bit longer with the news today. All right, guys, so head on over to Discord and let's get some calls going here. I'm going to try to get to some different people that I have not talked to before. So if you guys are normal callers here on the show, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have time to get to you guys here today. Going to try to talk to just brand new callers that we have never talked to on the show before. So let's start things off with Mr. Green Skies.
All done.
Hey, Mr. Green Skies, how you doing, my friend? Mr. Green Skies, you there? Sin, you there, my friend?
Oh.
Hello?
Hold on.
All right, guys, we're going to continue on right here. Let's go on with Rahul Kapar. Hey, Rahul, how you doing, my friend? Your microphone is muted.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
Good, good. You were on the show last week, right? Hello? Oh, you just left the call there. I don't know what just happened. Okay. 0 for 2. 0 for 2 right now. I don't know what just happened. Rahul Kapar, we're going to try again. Hey, Rahul. There you are, buddy. How's it going?
I don't know what happened there. I'm really sorry.
It's all good, my friend. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
What's your question?
So NXT 25 is on this Saturday, I believe.
Yes. And you left again. Oh, Leeson. All right, you got, or whatever your name is, Rahul Kapar. You get one more. All right, let's get you in. Rahul, hey, man.
Sorry, my internet is really messed up.
It's all good. Get your question out quick here.
NXT 25, not that much build up. Mm-hmm. What do you think will be the match of the night?
Tyler Breeze versus Velveteen Dream. I think they're going to get a showcase match, and we're going to see what Tyler Breeze is all about, because this send down to NXT is more so to reinvigorate his career than it is to showcase Velveteen Dream. I'm excited for it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That was the only question I had.
Awesome, man. Glad I could answer it. Thanks for calling in.
No problem.
Have a good day, bud.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on here. Let's get to, let's go. Wait, did Sin say, can I join? My mic wasn't working. I just fixed it. All right, Sin, let's talk to you, my friend. Hey, Sin, how you doing, friend?
Hey, Con.
Hey, how's it going?
Not much, you?
Oh, not too bad. What's your question, my friend?
So what do you think about that new guy, Luchasaurus, about AEW?
I think he's got potential. He looked really, really good in the Casino Battle Royal. He's got size. He's got a bit of a gimmick as well. I think he's going to be a solid upper mid-card player inside of AEW.
So, like, I found out that he was in the WWE NXT.
Yes, he was for just a little bit. He wasn't there too long. He was also on Big Brother beforehand as well. So he's kind of got
he was on Lucha Underground.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. So he's kind of been around, and obviously, you know, he's a decent enough in-ring performer for All Elite Wrestling to look to sign him. Yeah, he's a good talent. I like him.
Like, he was that guy Judas that was on NXT.
Yes, yeah. I don't remember seeing him personally. For whatever reason, it just is missed in my brain right now. But yeah, I think he's going to do good inside All Elite. He's looked real solid there in the Casino Battle Royal.
And what do you think about the new AEW title?
Oh, it's gorgeous, man. It's gorgeous. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Like, some people think that it looks like the original TNA World Heavyweight title.
I agree a little bit. It's got a little bit of that to it. It's got a little bit of the World Heavyweight Championship, you know, the big gold belt design to it as well. And it also brings a little bit of an influence from the UFC championship belts as well before they just redid them. I think it's a gorgeous looking belt.
All
right. Thanks for calling, my friend. Have a good day.
Too.
All right. So let's continue on here. I'm just trying to figure out how I can move people out of the live call. I don't know if I can just remove people. Because we got 10 people. It's already blocked up in there, so maybe we'll just update the waiting room. I don't know. Okay. Just give me 1 second here, guys. I don't know how to do that. Shoot. Okay, we're going to continue talking here to the Wolf HD. Hey, Wolf HD, how you doing, my friend? Your microphone is muted. Hey, Wolf HD, how you doing? One more time. Wolf, buddy, you there? Okay, guess not. Let's go with C. Russell. Hey, C. Russell, how you doing, my friend? C. Russell, your microphone is muted. Okay, guys, I gotta quickly talk to you. If you're gonna call into the show, please have your microphone plugged in. Please have a question ready to go. Please be ready to talk, okay? Let's continue on here. We're going to pull in Thomas Noble because I actually know that you can talk to me. You actually know how to talk. All right, Thomas, here we go. Hey, Thomas Noble, how you doing, my friend?
All right, Thomas, here we go.
Hold on, Conman. I have problems with my laptop to mute here.
Okay.
Hold on. Do not unplug me yet. There we go.
We all good now?
Yes.
All right.
I'm fine.
Finally, we're like 4 or 5 callers have just not picked up already today. So you're back on the show. So how you doing, my friend?
Message to newcomer. Pick up the line because everybody deserves a chance here.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly, my friend. But what is your conversation you have for us today?
Okay. It's a rant for Raw.
Ooh, all right.
It's Raw. I've been discussing this with my brother, and well, Raw is shit lately because, a lot of commercial breaks, and 2, no wrestling, for almost an hour. What is up with this? that just pisses me off a lot. Right there, right over here, over there. But Raw has been trash. SmackDown isn't, but NXT isn't as well. But Raw needs to be fixed because everybody is getting sick of that product.
I agree, my friend. Wow. So we're on Thursday already. Monday was a little bit ago, and you're still that steaming over the show. So you clearly hated every little bit of it, right? You hated every second of it. I absolutely agree. It was a terrible, 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 terrible show. It needs to be fixed. There was so many things wrong with Monday Night Raw. I agree. And for whatever reason, Thomas Noble, you just ended up leaving the chat. I hope you can hear me here, and I'm going to continue to address that question right now. But yeah, so Raw was bad. Raw was absolutely trash. And SmackDown, you're right, it was a little bit better. It was definitely better. NXT was good. But Monday Night Raw, stuff needs to change. You're absolutely right. It's just, I don't know how they're going to change it right away. I don't know what they need to do right away to change it. I think the answer involves just having more wrestling. But until something changes, I don't really know what to say about it. Monday Night Raw was absolutely god-awful this week. But thanks for calling, my friend Thomas Noble. I hope you are, you're good there. You left the call. And I hope that answers your question. Okay, let's continue on here. Let's go to AJ Mahoney. Hey, AJ Mahoney, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Con.
How's it going?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing pretty good. What's your question, my friend?
So I got 2 things, actually. I'm
All right.
actually going to rant just like Thomas did.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. How many promos were there in the first hour of Raw alone?
There was 11? Is that what the final number was?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how many promos are at Raw, because if there's 11 promos,
yeah,
how many matches did we get? 3?
I believe I saw somewhere online, in total on Monday Night Raw, we had a total of, I think it was 56 minutes of wrestling on a 3-hour show.
Okay, that's what's making everybody leave Raw, because you only have 56 minutes of wrestling. That's what we come here for.
Exactly,
wrestling,
my friend. Exactly.
Not people talking, reading off of a piece of paper.
I agree, my friend. What's your second one that you got?
Let me think of it real quick. Oh, yeah. Who do you think's going to win the 50-man Battle Royal at Super Showdown?
It's going to be Brock Lesnar. I don't know. It's one of those weird ones where I don't think it just really matters. They're kind of just doing it to do it. Do you have any ideas for people?
I've seen a couple having AJ Styles win it. But one guy I would like to see win it, if he's not in an IC title match with Balor, is Ali.
Okay.
I want to see him get that a little bit of a push, like since he almost got the WWE Championship, which I heard it should have been him instead of Kofi. But I want to see him like kind of get the IC title push. And I think he's the one who should take it off of Balor.
You know what, man? I see where you're going right there, and I like it. They kind of had Balor and Ali teaming up and forming a little bit of alliance as well. It's there. The story's there. Yeah, I think if you get through Super Showdown with Andrade not capturing the... Well, you could also have Andrade capture the IC title, and then you could have Ali and Finn Balor enter some sort of like triple threat type of feud to get that IC title back.
But I don't think Balor's losing with the Demon.
I don't think so either. So I think you're going to see Andrade pick up the loss there at Super Showdown. I like your idea of giving Ali the Battle Royal win. You know, they could give him some momentum out of that. Yeah.
Him or Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy would be good too because we haven't really seen him on TV. They didn't even air his actual debut on SmackDown Live. It was just a promo and they didn't even air it. So, yeah, I don't know what they plan on doing there.
Black.
Aleister Black could potentially happen. I know that he's looking for some quote-unquote competition now, so maybe that would be one way to build him up.
Who knows if WWE, they can put Lars Sullivan in there. We don't know.
They could. Lars does have that 3-on-1 handicap match. Yeah. But I mean...
But you know he's going to demolish him in 2 seconds.
Exactly, yeah. He's just going to beat down each one of the loser house parties, and, you know, it's going to be good. Any other questions, my friend?
No.
Nope, that's everything. All right. Thanks for calling, and have a good day.
You too, Con. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye. All right. But, guys, unfortunately... that brings us to the end of Hold the Rope. I love talking to you guys. I love getting to talk to you occasionally. We are going to try to speed up the actual news segment of the show in the future. Not speed it up to the point where I don't cover everything, but maybe I just don't go as in-depth with some stories as I do. Maybe I don't always have to pull it back to the main face cam, and that way we can get to talk to more of you guys on a more regular basis. But that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every single one of you. If you had questions to ask today, I'm sorry that you couldn't get to them. You can always ask them over on Twitter if you want them answered here today. Twitter.com/Conman167. You can vote for... or not vote, what am I saying? You can follow me on Twitter at Conman167. You can follow me on Instagram at Conman167WWE. And oh boy, we got ourselves a $10 dono here to finish off the show from Mr. Casey Wood. He says, what do you think of what Stephanie McMahon says? Her and the WWE condemn Lesnar and Heyman. You missed it just earlier on in the show when we played the promo. It was really weird. I think that they're just trying to create a storyline out of nothing. I mean, what is disrespectful of bopping around with a boob box? I really don't know. Other than that, guys, I think that's going to have to be the end of the show. Thank you guys so very, very much for calling. Thank you so very much for whatever. Today's show, Hold the Rope. Conman doesn't have any more words. I want to roll the $10 dono from Mr. Casey Wood so that way we can play Triple H on our way out and we can all bow down to the king of Casey Wood. Thanks again, my friend, for the $10 donation, and let's roll this out here at the end of the show. Time for Casey Wood to bow down to the king.
Behold the king. The King of Kings. On your knees, dog. All hail. Bow down to the king.
Oh, there we go, folks. It is the game Triple H, and that is how we end our edition of Hold the Rope. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. On your way out, please make sure you leave a like on this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram, and you subscribe to me right here on YouTube. That's all for today, though. Thank you so very, very much for calling. I've been Con, and that was Hold the Rope.